Good morning, everyone. In the last session, we tried to communicate with ChatGPT on Po and receive feedback on pronunciation. In this session, we will focus on fluency and coherence. I will first introduce the marking criteria of fluency and coherence in IELTS speaking test. Then compare the fluency and coherence features among learners with different band levels. Use ChatGPT to receive oral feedback. And introduce a text-to-speech AI tool, which can make human-like voice. We introduced a Corpus&AI English speaking teaching framework in our previous sessions. By utilizing the corpus data to distinguish fluency and coherence features between different proficiency levels, learners can enhance their oral proficiency through comparative analysis. Basically, there are 4 steps for the Corpus&AI English speaking teaching and learning approach. First, we use corpus data to identify the fluency and coherence features which influence oral proficiency. The same with our previous experience. We compare the features produced by the lower proficiency level with the higher level and find the differences. In the second step, we do self-reflection and check whether we produce these features in our own speech. Then we give prompts to the AI tool to receive feedback on each feature and make improvements based on the feedback. The last thing is to use text-to-speech AI tools to generate tailor-made human-like samples and imitate. The English speech corpus with different proficiency levels is the spoken corpus that is used in this session. I think you are quite familiar with it. You can scan this QR code to get access to this corpus. This is the IELTS speaking criteria. Based on this, we annotated the following key indicators: repetition, self-correction, speech length, speech rate, discourse markers and connectives, and pausing. This is a fluency and coherence data page. Here is a Band 5 speakers data page. We use different colors to annotate each feature. For example, filled pause. Filled pause refers to the meaningless words such as We also annotated silent pause and silent pause at the end of an utterance. We categorized the 2 types of silent pause into 2 categorizations: longer than 0.1 second but shorter than 0.4 second, and equals to or longer than 0.4 second. Let's listen to the corpus data together.
I prefer to study in the afternoon because I used to be sleeping in the morning. I think sleep enough time, and it's very useful for me to study hard.
Here are the annotations on repetition, self-correction, and discourse markers and connectives. Each speaker's fluency and coherence performance has been summarized in the general description. We summarized the common features produced by speakers from different proficiency levels. This chart is for discourse markers and connectives. We can see that Band 5 and 5.5 speakers produced more discourse markers on comparing. For Band 8 or higher speakers, they used more on attitude and generalizing. For the features of pausing, lower-level speakers produced more filled pauses and silent pauses in the middle of an utterance. For higher-level speakers, they produced more silent pauses at the end of an utterance. You are familiar with ChatGPT on Po. Let's receive feedback on discourse markers and connectives from ChatGPT on Po first. Let's use the question of the topic, picnic, that we used in our previous sessions. Do people in your country like to go on picnics? Please find out the answer that you developed in the last session. Give this prompt: please help me to add more discourse markers and connectives in my following speech, but do not change the sentence structures, words, and meaning, plus your answer. After giving prompts to the ChatGPT on Poe, you will receive feedback on discourse markers and connectives from the AI tool. The discourse markers and connectives in blue are the ones in the original text. Those in red are the ones added by the AI tool. Another key indicator for fluency and coherence is pausing. Let's try to focus on it this time. Please talk to ChatGPT. Use the prompt, "Please give me feedback on filled pausing or silent pausing for my following speech." Then read aloud the sentences. This is the response of feedback on silent pauses. Feedback from the AI tool suggested having silent pauses after an utterance. For the response of feedback on filled pauses, I intentionally used some filled pauses in my speech, and ChatGPT pointed out that I need to minimize filled pauses. Also, ChatGPT provided speech with suggested pauses. I selected some feedback received from Poe and compared them with the common features identified from our spoken data. One thing on silent pausing pointed out by ChatGPT on Poe is having silent pausing after a sentence. Based on our corpus data, Band 7 to 7.5 speakers in our spoken corpus produced more silent pauses at the end of an utterance. For filled pausing, ChatGPT on Poe pointed out avoiding excessive filled pausing. Band 8 or higher level speakers in our spoken corpus also have the least number of filled pausing. Another AI tool which is helpful in learning pausing and could generate native speaker samples is a text-to-speech AI tool called MRF. It can offer a selection of 100% natural-sounding AI voices in more than 20 languages. Users can use this tool to practice inserting pauses, generate tailor-made samples to listen to the pronunciation of the AI tool, and imitate the pronunciation of the AI tool. Please open MRF. You can get access to this platform using this QR code. On this platform, we can choose speaker's voice, for example, gender, age, and accent. We can also choose the tone that we would like to ask the AI to generate, for example, happy or sad. Then, the pitch and speed can also be adjusted, and we can add silent pauses by ourselves. There are 5 types of pausing: extra weak pausing, medium pausing, strong pausing, and extra strong pausing. I will demonstrate how to use this platform. When you open MRF, you can see the interface of this platform. Click Open Studio, and then Create Project. You can enter the text that you would like to ask the tool to read, and select a voice. You can choose male or female, age, and accent of the voice. You can also choose the tone of this voice, for example, happy or sad. The pitch and speed are also modifiable. To make the voice naturally, users can also add pauses. For example, you can add a strong pause after a sentence and a medium pause when there is a comma. Let's look at an example. I selected the poem, "When You Are Old," by William Butler Yeats. I asked the AI tool to read this poem, using a sad tone with a relatively lower speed. I also added suggested pauses. Then click Generate Audio and play. Let's listen to the AI tool's production.
When You Are Old, by William Butler Yeats. When you are old and gray and full of sleep and nodding by the fire, take down this book and slowly read and dream of the soft look your eyes had once and of their shadows deep. How many loved your moments of glad grace, and loved your beauty with love, false or true? But one man loved the pilgrim soul in you, and loved the sorrows of your changing face, and bending down beside the glowing bars, murmur, a little sadly, how love fled, and paced upon the mountains overhead, and hid his face amid a crowd of stars.
When a word has different types of pronunciation, users can select the pronunciation that they need in the MRF database. For example, the word soft, you can select the word and then click pronunciation. The possible pronunciation of the word will be listed. You can listen to the pronunciation and select the one you need.
Soft.
Users also can click Create Custom, enter IPA of a word, and custom the pronunciation of a word. You can also use the emphasis function to make a natural speech. Users can adjust the pitch and speech rate of the words in a sentences. For content words, we usually stress these words and have higher pitch and longer duration of these words. Let's listen to an example. The words old, gray, and sleep were emphasized. Let's listen to the recording.
When you are old and gray and full of sleep.
Now, let's try to generate our own IELTS speaking sample. Please use the answer to this question you just developed, add pauses, and use MRF to generate an audio recording. Here is a sample that I created. I added strong pauses at the end of a sentence and weak pauses when there is a comma. Let's listen to this sample together.
Yes, people in my country really enjoy going on picnics, especially during the warmer months. In fact, it's a popular activity for families and friends who want to get together and spend quality time. For instance, many people visit parks, beaches, or even the countryside for a picnic, where they can relax, play games, and eat outdoors. Moreover, the atmosphere that is created during picnics is usually very relaxed, and furthermore, it does provide a nice break from the hustle and bustle of urban life. Personally, I enjoy picnicking too. As a matter of fact, I usually do it on weekends or holidays. Of course, the most important thing is the weather. In autumn, it's far more usual for people to plan picnics because it's not too hot or cold. Also, it's not just about eating. It's also about enjoying nature and strengthening relationships.
This is an after-training activity for you. Please use the well-written answer for this IELTS speaking topic. Describe a time you were friendly to someone you didn't like. The topic is the same with the one you did in the previous sessions. Try to ask ChatGPT on PO to give feedback on fluency and coherence, and use MRF to generate a native speaker's sample. Share your prompts and fluency and coherence features pointed out by ChatGPT, and a screenshot of your MRF sample with pauses inserted on Canvas. An example has been provided on this platform. You can scan this QR code to get access to our course. That's all for Session 5. Thank you for your watching.